Is there scripture that would back up Christian hip hop as a form of worship music? I mean, it is music, right? And as long as the message pertains to God, it should be considered worship music. But most people don't look at Christian hip hop as kingdom music or kingdom work or kingdom type of worship. You know what I mean? So I have the scripture that's going to debunk that. So let's go. The scripture is from 1 Corinthians 9:22. So for you note takers, 1 Corinthians 9:22. And it reads, "To the weak I became the weak, to win the weak. I have become all things to all people, so by all possible means I might save some." And this is, I don't know if it was Paul that wrote it or just Paul that is saying this and somebody else wrote it. So forgive me for not giving you that piece of knowledge there, but it is from Paul himself, right? And so let's break this down a little bit, right? He said, I became the weak to win the weak. What does he mean by that, right? I don't believe that Paul actually became weak, like weak in strength or whatever. What I think is that he knew that these people were spiritually weak, whoever he is talking about. So he himself had to humble himself down, not become weak or become weak in spirituality or in faith, but he had to bring himself to a certain place where it was relatable to who he is speaking to, right? How does this look like for Christian hip hop or any type of music, right? Christian hip hop is looked at kind of different because of how hip hop is. Let's be honest. Hip hop doesn't have the right message behind it. So by default, most Christian churches would be like, I'm not touching that. I don't want no part to do with that. Rightfully so. I get it. But Christian hip hop has very good messages behind it. It has people that's actually live through a lot of these things, has probably been singing or rapping for, you know, the secular lifestyle, let's say, all right, and has turned their life around and started doing Christian hip hop. Some of them had nothing to do with the streets or whatever, or bad lives or whatever. They just got skills. But you can tell the ones that actually went through it, right? Most of the time, all right? So this is what he's talking about. He is talking about that he is relating himself or becoming a bit more relatable to the people that he is trying to reach. Hip hop, the people, right? Trying to reach that certain crowd that listens to secular hip hop, all right? Using hip hop as the mediator right there, all right? So moving on, I became all things to all people. What does this say? Now, for myself, please feel free to comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about this part. But for me, my opinion, this is Daveology right here. I believe that he is trying to become relatable in a way like, let's say, for example, this. There's a King James Version Bible, all right? You take a King James Version Bible to a pastor or preacher or somebody who's been going to church for more than 40, 50 years. Most likely, King James Bible would be their Bible of choice, and they would be able to pick that Bible up and read scripture from it and understand everything that's going on right there. Now, if you ever read a King James Bible, there's a lot of ye and thous and a lot of words in there that are a little bit throw you for a loop when you start reading it. If you give that same Bible to somebody who's maybe 16, 17 years of age, younger kid, tell them, read this. It's going to be confusing to them. But you go ahead and give them something like the Christian Standard Bible or the NIV, all of a sudden, he or she understands. All right? Same message, same God, different Bibles. So he's becoming all things to all people, so like that they can get it. You understand? That's what I get from it. You're welcome to comment on that. So the next part, he says, so by all possible means, I might save some. So right here, I wrote a little bit of a phrase down. So hear me out on this. Sometimes we must sacrifice. In this case, it could be personal preferences. But isn't it worth it? If it means more people coming to faith in Jesus Christ, isn't it worth sacrificing our personal preferences? That could be people who listen to traditional music, traditional Christian music. It could be people who listen to Christian country music or Christian Spanish music coming to, because I always try to look at it from the other side of the coin. When I went into my church, there's no Christian hip hop in there. As a matter of fact, there's a little bit of modern Christian songs in there. Like I like them, elevation worship type of stuff, but you don't hear that much at my church. They do play some of it. The worship lady, she plays some good music, but a lot of it is some of the older traditional stuff. I didn't really get down with that walking in. I'll be honest. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I wasn't there for that. I was there to reach God. There was now I've adapted to it, and I enjoy them too. I enjoy them just as much as, well, I ain't gonna say just as much. I like Christian hip hop, but I enjoy them when I'm there. I sing them. I worship to them. There's certain ones that really get me going, but it's the message behind them. I listen to the words. It's the message behind it. I feel the impact. It's the message behind it. You see what I'm saying? And I think that with Christian hip hop, do I think it should be played in the church as a form of worship music? I don't think it should be like a Sunday morning type of thing. No, I don't. I don't think that. I think that Christian hip hop does has its place in a church setting, but I think it has to be a church setting all by itself. Like maybe a Sunday afternoon, maybe a Thursday afternoon, where you could have this Christian hip hop, a certain message being told that night. Maybe the hip hop music is certain songs that have to do with the message that we are trying to talk out the Bible, tying scripture to it. You could structure that all types of different ways. Do I think it should be side by side Sunday morning? No, I think Sunday morning should be what Sunday morning is. I don't think the beat of Christian hip hop fits in there, even though I do think that the night that, or whenever a Christian hip hop service is being held, I do think that the more traditional stuff would work with Christian hip hop on a Christian hip hop night. Because when you get down to doing the altar calls and the praying, you do want to slow it down some. You don't want this, bob and bass. I just can't, I can't see myself praying over somebody like that. You tell me in the comment section what you think. But as far as this verse right here really touched me in a way where I thought that this was very fitting for explaining, for a verse that would explain why Christian hip hop should have or at least a spot or be accepted as a form of worship music, and also, you know, the people you're trying to reach in that setting. So please, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe, hit like, all the things, all the buttons. You should check out this video right here because YouTube is saying that you might like this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.